Hey, hey, YouTubers, welcome back. Okay, so this is going to be the weekend energy reading for September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so I've already cleared the romance angel cards. We're going to go into cartomancy also to see what sort of specific, circumstances, situations that could be arising this weekend. And again, I'm recording this video on the 31st, so the energies could in fact be now, and as energy is fluid, you could see the unfolding of it and or just resonate with what is coming through in regards to your situation. And I also include, the guidance and deeper understanding. And I also will be using some angel message cards here to close out. So let's see what comes out here in regards to, these connections and or the energies that are going on within relationship connections, whether they are in 3D or not at this time. Okay, ascending to higher level of commitments. Again, you know how I feel about the labels. Labels are just something that, we like to use in order to validate to others what our social standing is, correct? But ascending to higher level of commitments means, how are you feeling within yourself and the connection with the other person? Because at the end of the day, the label is nothing more than an illusion because it does not hold you as property to another. That's where I have a problem with labels, okay? Labels are also another way in order for others to deny ever having a connection with you, right? Yet they did, but because it wasn't on that social standing stature, which is what? Others knowing that you had a connection, they can deny, in fact, anything that ever happened between you two as their responsibility, right? Also bullshit, okay? All of it's bullshit, calling everyone on their bullshit, okay? So if you have ever been denied by another person over a circumstance, situation, or anything of that nature that the other person was in fact involved in and they denied it based off of your social standing, well, I'm here to tell you that that does not deem them, without recourse later on, whenever in their life, over being given the karma that they put out by not facing a truth within a situation, so to speak. Okay? So, wanting to ascend to higher level of commitments. What is this leading to? Well, we're going to find out the extent of it, but this is an energy that is surrounding at this time, whether it be with yourself and this other person, but wanting this higher level of commitment in your life, regardless. But it's not so much about the label, it's about that connection with the other person. And how do you know whether or not the connection with the other person is real? Well, whether or not they're in your 3D space or not, you have to go within yourself first. Is the connection with yourself real? I would hope so. But you can't deny your own feelings based off of the fact that the person could have shoved you off. Person shoves you off, don't attach yourself to those lower level energies in which made them cause, their actions, which was fear, self-esteem issues, fears of anything. But it's just fears of being honest, because a person that has self-respect doesn't do that to another person without an explanation as to why they're acting in the way that they do. But when another person shoves another person off without explanation, it's due to the fact that there's an underlying reason there that's being projected onto the other person, which could be yourself. And this is where you need to understand that not to attach yourself to doubts and fears that, you're unworthy or that you're deserving of those types of behaviors from another, because there is a reason in why they're acting in that manner. And whether it's due to the fact that they are, it's all surrounding fear. Fear of what? Fear of being truthful, fear of being honest, fear of, not wanting to expose what it is that's causing them to act in these behaviors or manners, mannerisms towards you based off of what? There's just a fear there of not speaking a truth, whether it be a third party involvement, Whether it be the fact that they were perceiving themselves to be something that they were in fact not, and rather than being open and honest, they just decided to retreat. Well, blindly unaware of the fact that, they're causing another person, these lower level feelings also, because there's a reason there was a disconnect and it didn't ascend. But this is the energy of wanting to ascend to higher level of commitments. Why? Because we want a reconciliation. This was a desire between both. How do you get here? There has to be a reconciliation in order to do that. But when you shove another person off, or you were shoved off, what energies did you fall to? Feelings. What feelings did you fall to when this did not happen? Disappointment, unworthiness, not being good enough. Why did the person shove you off? You don't know, but you do. Whatever those lower level feelings that you were feeling was a projection. So this is where you need to understand yourself on a deeper level before reconciliation. When reconciliations happen without you being 100% understanding yourself, those lower level energies then can continuously be projected back and forth, where a disconnect continues to happen over and over again because you're using each other as emotional crutches, the reason why you feel good and the reason why you don't feel good. But once you understand yourself on a deeper level and understand that you are worthy, you're true, and honest with yourself, you're true and honest with everything you speak that comes from you, because you speak from the I standpoint. I understand myself. I understand my behaviors. I understand why I acted. When you speak from the I standpoint, you're speaking from your truth. You're not using the other person as a we or you. I know we were whatever or weren't whatever, because we, in fact, are not on the same page. But you have to be on the same page with yourself first in order to get on the same page with the other person, so you can understand each other. Because what happens is, that's where the misunderstandings lie. That's why this, in fact, did not ascend to a higher level of commitment, yet both wanted that in the beginning, and it fell apart based off of not speaking your truth, because you really, honestly, didn't know at that time. That's why separation happens. I'm serious. Especially in relationships that never ascended to a higher level of commitment. The reason they do not is because you weren't meant to use each other as emotional crutches. You weren't meant to be in a karmic cycle like that. You were meant to separate so that you could go figure yourself out alone, without that person around. And however it is that your circumstances and situations unfold for you to understand that, whether you go through another relationship that doesn't work out or whatever it may have you, your higher self knows what it is that you need to go through in order to understand yourself on a deeper level. So that's how that works. Everyone understands things on different levels at different times and needs to go through certain things in order to finally get to a place where they go, I need to figure this out. Something's wrong. And it's your perception. It's the belief within that was being projected out, and that person was in fact sharing that fear, okay? That's what that's about. But wanting to ascend to higher level of commitments, and how do you get there? By reconciling with who? The person you have these feelings for, because they are in fact real and worth exploring. They're real. Realest thing here. The good ones and the bad ones. It's the bad ones that are an illusion. They're the ones that make you feel as if you're unworthy, that you don't deserve everything that you truly desired. But all of your desires are worthy of having. You just have to believe that. You believe it, then you see it. You believe it, then you see it. You didn't believe it before this person entered your life, which is why you did in fact not see it. So you separated so that you could find the way to your truth and believe it within yourself, right? So reconciliation, in order to explore the feelings that are in fact real, very soon making this decision in order to reconcile, And finances and career could in fact be a factor in why this separated. That was not, like I said, there's other reasons on why people do things in the way in which they do them, because they may have been portrayed to be something that they were in fact not, and then unable to face that truth or be open and honest, which is why it did not ascend to a higher level of commitment. But ascending to higher level of commitments through a reconciliation, because the feelings are real and worth exploring, and there may in fact need to be a decision over a career path, over finances, over a career path, because this reconciliation with the person who you share these feelings with may need to make a decision because their career path and or where, they may need to be moving forward to is conflicting in what they're doing now, but what they're doing now is not serving them, based off of the fact that feelings have been causing lack of progression, not just in the relationship connection, but within career, within finances. When one part of your life is like, the other part of it is like, okay, questionable. Because you're not understanding yourself. When you do things from a place of passion, pure enjoyment, without fear, that's how free-flowing energies come to you, and abundance, and things seem to be effortless, right? But when we put our energy and all of it into things that, so to speak, take a lot of our energy and take a lot of effort in order to feel just this much successful, that's a direct indicator there that there's something on a deeper level that needs to be understood, because you're not coming from a place of passion, right? Yes. So let's see what else we got here for these weekend energies. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. This connection, it's safe. It always was, because it started with you and it ends with you. You and the other person were in fact projections of each other. There wasn't this feeling of safety in the beginning, which is why it did not ascend. Why did it not ascend? Fear, not being honest, open. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Moment to moment to moment to moment. Understanding that you attracted each other into each other's lives at the moment in which you were to meet. Wanting to ascend to a higher level of commitments now with each other is due to the fact that your feelings are real. You now understand your feelings on a deeper level. You're not questioning them. And you're deciding that you understand in the safety of love in order to open, your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, as you were in the beginning freely, but then the lack of safety came to the surface and it separated. But you or the other person could in fact be needing to move at a distance, which could impact your career path, or you're wanting a new career path. But you could be worried about your finances and career, and that's based off of the fact that you didn't understand that your connection was in fact safe. So you need to understand what you're attracting into your life is what you're focused on, based off of what? Feelings. If you're attracting circumstances and situations in your life that they don't feel like, why? Trust me, I did it. Why? I had a lesson that I needed to learn, a very important one. And once that lesson was learned, off I went. Because it was like, I get it. Oh, we had to go through that. Thanks. But I could hold a grudge. I could be unscrupulous, so to speak. But where does that get me? That keeps me stuck in stagnant energies. It keeps me away from what it is that my heart truly desires. But you can't use the other person either as your focal point. You cannot question your connection with yourself based off of how another is acting and or being at this time. If they're not in connection with you, it's because they're not meant to be at this time, because they in fact do not understand themselves on a deeper level. But that means you do not question your own self based off of that other person. That feeds the lower level energies. That feeds doubt and fear, right? You have to be in disconnect to understand your feelings. You have to be in disconnect to understand your feelings. You can't use the other person as your projection screen on why you're feeling anything. That's what has been so screwed up, is that our feelings are based off of this other people, and that's not right, because no one can make you feel something that you don't already feel within inside of you. You can't feel abandoned only unless your belief inside of you is that feeling exists based off of what? Circumstances and situations from the past where people have abandoned you, where you tried to reconnect with them and they continue to abandon you over and over and over again. You kept that feeling of abandonment with you. You buried it within inside of you rather than understanding that you were in a fear projection with that other person who also has fears of abandonment. So how do you heal that? By knowing you're never truly abandoned by anyone and that you would never abandon your own self by not loving yourself, right? So what it's showing here is that there's a need here to have a heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other, which is where the romantic feelings comes in. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And there's a need here to have a heart-to-heart conversation from a place of what? From what exactly I just freaking said. Loving yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. When you speak from the I space, that shows your love for self and your self-respect, and you won't fall to lower level energies and project negativity with another. Because if that person is speaking from a place that is beneath anything that you believe inside of you, you will be able to pick that up immediately and know, I don't feel bad for what it is that you're saying to me. You, in fact, are denying me at this time, but this is only due to the fact that you're denying yourself because you're afraid. Yeah. That's what it is. Fear holds you apart from everything you ever wanted. That's why people are so damaged and screwed up. We've been taught to believe that. But when you have this heart-to-heart conversation, you got to come from here. Because you know your feelings are real. And your feelings were projected, really, from this other person because they feel the same exact way within themselves. And that was a shared connection. So then you shared lack of love of self, and it caused it to come apart. But what you both want is to ascend to a higher level of commitments. And this is a romance of a lifetime. This is true love. Loving yourself first is the truest love you could ever have in your entire life. And that's the only love that exists. And you share it with others. But what happened here in this circumstance and situation is there was a lack of understanding that it was safe. At the bottom of the deck, you got getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves, your bond deepens. Again, this did not happen. Because neither one of you understood this. So you zipped your lips and were fearful of speaking your truth. There's so many circumstances, situations. For example, you could have only known this person for 2 weeks. And you could have been like, this person is everything I ever wanted. I want to tell them all about it, but I'm going to look cuckoo bananas if I tell them that. That's a perception. So you didn't. Why? Afraid of looking cuckoo. What was that person fearing? Opening up and also saying the same thing and or something along those lines. Like, I've never really felt like this towards anybody before in my life, and I've only known you for 2 weeks. So you both did what? Didn't say a freaking word. What happened? Vibrated apart. Because you were afraid. Didn't feel safe in saying that. Why? Because you were fearful of that other person rejecting you. Fear of rejection. So you don't speak your truth. So this needs to happen from what? An I space. I get it now. I learned what I needed to learn during the time of our disconnection and learned to truly trust my own self. And now I'm speaking from the place within me and understand the projection. Because you are, in fact, being guided on a spiritual journey here. By revealing your innermost selves, this is something in order to understand each other on a deeper level, spiritual self, right? Revealing. Because the deception lies in the fact that you're not expressing yourself, and the reason you didn't express yourself is because you didn't understand that you deserve love and that you are lovable at the time in which you met this person. So the deception lies in the fact that someone's wearing a false mask. Who's wearing a false mask? When you're not speaking your truth, you're deceiving no one but yourself. But then it's projected onto the other person as they are deceiving you, regardless of what the circumstances and situations are. But the deception lies in the fact that love was not expressed based off of the fact that both of you did not understand that you do deserve love and that you're lovable. But you understand that now, right? You understand that now, right? Of course you do. Because you have now freed yourself and took back control of your life. You freed yourself of what? Past life karmic relationships. Where the feelings and the beliefs came from, that your feelings are not in fact real, that you don't deserve love. You freed yourself of these past life karmic energies, which now you can then work on your partnership and release and heal the past and experience more love in this present moment. Because there may or may not have been marriages and family issues that needed to be healed from the past. And by you remaining optimistic, positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. You know that this person that stirred your romantic feelings, you can now trust and have faith in your feelings by letting go of the control, letting it unfold naturally, because this is in fact your soulmate that you are in separation from, but you feel this strong magnetic connection because you called this person into your life, and this is in fact the person that you've met and the romantic partner that you did in fact seek out. They came into your life, but you did not know who they were when you met them. Why? You didn't. Neither one of you did. You did and you didn't. The karmic fog is fear, excuses, making up everything that you possibly can on why it's not going to work out. All stupid. Yes, stupid. I can't even, foolish. Stupid, meaning, I don't know. Let's go with distance. Okay, mobile. Let's go with cultural background. Stupid. Get to know each other's different cultures. That's fun. Why not? We're going to not like them because of that? Why don't you learn something else about, you like that person, but then you're coming up with excuses on why. But that's cool. Learn somebody else's, different culture. You were attracted to the person, you already had the connection, but you're coming up with every excuse in the book on why it can't work out. Right? Yeah. But all dumb, all stupid. I don't know what else to say. You're gonna let that hold you apart from a connection that you desire to have in your life based off of something you desire that you hold within yourself, and you have this person directly reflect that. So what do? Deny it? That's stupid. That's silly. Right? Yeah. So many people. Yeah, it is stupid. It is. But this is, again, people, what do I do? This person won't communicate with. You, in fact, know your truth. You hold yourself in it, and that's it. You don't put your life on hold. You don't not do things that you want to do based off of the fact that you're sitting around waiting for this other person to show up. Wrong way also. You got your truth, you're good to go. This other person that shared this connection with you, well, it's up to them in order to open up their eyes, but they are not exempt from going through karmic cycle after karmic cycle after karmic cycle of relationships, experiences over and over and over again until, boom, wide awake. Because if you haven't forgotten about them, they haven't forgotten about you. It's called energy. It could be connected to the person completely on the other side of the world. Think about them all the time. Say to yourself, I don't want to think about this person anymore. I can't stand it. Get them out of my head. But you can't. Because they're thinking about you too. But how are you thinking about them? Are you thinking about all the things that happened in the past and how it unfolded and it was so devastating? Or are you understanding yourself on a deeper level and forgiving yourself and saying, I'm good. I get it now. I woke up. That feeds the positive energy. And then you keep your faith and your trust that energies are always working with you, positive, never working against you, free-flowing energies. Everything's always in perfect synchronization based off of your heart space. But your beliefs in which that feed those lower level energies, which cause you to feel unworthy, those in fact are what holds the free-flowing energies apart from unfolding. Now these are the energies, as of now and for this weekend, but what it's showing me here is that there is a true love. There's a soulmate connection. There's soulmate connections across the board. I can't tell you how many I know of that are held apart based off of circumstances and situations that people are making as excuses that are stupid, following the footsteps of others that are telling them how to live their life when they know, in fact, that that's not the way that they want to go. They want to go in a different direction. It is not your responsibility to worry over that, but to understand that that person has to become, on the same exact I-knowing level and face all the people who are against what they want to do, right? You got to go, you know what, I'm done with this. Like, I'm doing this. You don't like it, too bad, so sad. Watch me. And I know it's really hard for some people to do that because you worry so much about others. I was in the same boat. But you know what I said? I was like, screw this. I'm not happy. And I was like, I'm going to go, whoo, there's a bug. I was like, I'm going to go and be happy. Best decision I ever made in my freaking life. So what do you choose? I hope it's to be happy. All right, so let's see what comes out here. Where are the cards, Nancy? Beautiful. Start of the romance of the soul. Yes, you in fact did. And that is where your victory lies. You started a romance of the soul, and you're going to have victory with it. But what? Always. Always, right? What needs to happen for this victory, for this ascension to a higher level of commitments? That's what this means. Start of the romance of the soul, highest level of commitment, completion with the start of the romance of the soul. We need to break down our established mind thought patterns when it comes to relationships. Stop making excuses on why it cannot work out. Dumb. Break down the established mind thought patterns when it comes to relationships. Feeling pressured and forced to do so. Up against the wall because you're not happy. That's what that card means. You're feeling pressured. You're feeling forced. Forced to do what? Break down your established mind thought patterns when it comes to connections. Because they haven't been working out for you in the past. You met a person off of a desire. You wanted a person like that. You wanted that type of connection. You had it. But then you came up with every excuse in the book to discredit that person, but you were only discrediting your own self. So now it's time to break down those established mind thought patterns because victory lies here with the person you started this romance of the soul with. Breaking down the established mind thought patterns when it comes to relationships. This is a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy that could be feeling this pressure at this time, and or this is breaking down the established mind thought patterns when it comes to relationships in order to bring these loving messages. Because once you bringing loving messages about what? Speaking your damn truth. Isn't that what I've been talking about? Truth. Being truthful, fair, and honest with the way that we truly feel. This is the intimacy card, passion card. You and this person were in fact intimate. You shared passion with each other. You know it, they know it. But this wall here, which is crumbling down to the damn ground, is because this person is feeling pressured and forced to break down their established mind thought patterns when it comes to relationships. This could in fact be a water energy that needs to do this in order to speak their truth. And or this is Cupid, the bringer of loving messages, bringing loving messages through a heart space. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Heart-to-heart conversation, speaking from the I space. Truth. And the pressure is breaking down your wall of fear. Wishes and desires. But we got scattered energies and fickleness and changeability over what it is that we wish and desire, and this fell out directly on top of this Ace of Hearts and Ten of Hearts, indicating victory with the person you did in fact start a romance of the soul. This is where the wishes and the desires lie, but your fickleness and your changeability about this is due to the fact that you need to break down your established mind thought patterns when it comes to relationships and speak your truth. And it could be to a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy in which your truth needs to be spoken to. Because you need to financially free yourself. Again, you could be dealing with an authoritative figure. This could be a boss, a judge, anything of that nature, an authoritative figure. And this is a distance. This person's at a distance here, but this indicates needing to financially free yourself from this energy, this person, allowing others to overstand you, holding you away from what it is that you truly desire. But this indicates, needing financial freedom in order to take action and change in your social standing with this person. And this is exactly why you're in lack of communication with them. But now you're being pressured and forced to bring these loving messages and speak your truth, whether it be the fact that you need to financially free yourself from a situation or not, but you're being pressured and forced to break down established mind thought patterns because what you wish and desire is with the person you started a romance of the soul with, but your fickleness and your changeability could in fact be surrounding this financial freedom that you need. Yes, and you're in lack of communication with this person, and it's causing you to feel fenced in and sick and tired of an unhealthy situation because this person could in fact be at a distance, but this is in fact a spiritual journey. Due to the fact that this person is at a distance, right? You're in lack of communication. You need to take action and change in the social standing. But you need to financially free yourself. And this could be due to the fact that there is somebody who is holding authority over your finances, perceptionally, but indicating that the person that you want to take action and change in the social standing with, you're in lack of communication with, who is in fact at a distance, and it's causing you to feel fenced in and sick and tired of an unhealthy situation. Why? Well, you're in lack of communication with the person, and it's causing you to feel this sense of unrequited love, which is lack of love of self. So now you're planning. You're carefully planning. You're not pushing things, but you want future success with this person. You're planning on moving forward with this person, but you're planning. But the sense of the unrequited love is what has been left on this journey. This is the residual energy that has been left based off of the fact that you started a romance of the soul, and it's like you abandoned it. But it's due to the fact you need to break down this and speak your truth. Double eighth also is indicating, a divine partnership here. Because there needs to be healing, steady improvements, happy surprises, and a second chance to redo this. But you got to break down the wall in which you built within yourself, which is breaking down the established mind thought patterns, because this is in fact by divine design. And you're in separation from the person who you in fact share these mutual feelings with, and you're being guided in order to make efforts forward, because as you take efforts forward, take the steps you're being guided to take, steady improvements, financial, this is where you're rewarded for your efforts by following your heart. And what are you following your heart to? You're in separation from the person you have mutual feelings for. So take the steps forward. Have your efforts rewarded, because this is in fact your soulmate. Here's where your financial independence lies. Here's the person at a distance, trip by car, verbal communication in order to do what? Lay foundation, speak your truth. Here's where you're manifesting your new beginning, and or this is the sign of Gemini, who you in fact could have cut out of your life due to the fact that you were not financially independent, you were not financially stable, so you cut this Gemini out of your life. And now you're being guided in order to communicate, because once you do, there's a brand new beginning and a new phase of life. So what I'm picking up here is that we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. This Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy is what I'm picking up needs to break down the established mind thought pattern when it comes to relationships. There could be an authoritative figure who is holding finances, and this is why there's not communication between the two, because there's a need to communicate about our financial stability at this time. But it's also showing me here that a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or the sign of Gemini specifically could have in fact been cut out by a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio based off of their established mind thought pattern, and also surrounding the fact that they did not have financial stability, but now wanting to move forward in order to communicate. And once that barrier is broken, I've been saying this for how long now, guys? Brand new beginning, new phase of life. Ascending to higher level of commitments. Isn't that what you guys want? You want this reconciliation? You want what you wanted in the beginning is what it shall be in the end. There is no end. But the beginning is the end. The end is the beginning, right? It's a continuous what? Figure eight. But what you truly wanted, you both met each other. Because you called each other into each other's lives. By design, it's by divine design. The healing takes place once you face your fears and push past the barrier. There's your new beginning. You have scattered energies over what your wishes and your desires truly are. This is what you want, but your scattered energies are around your wishes. Why? Because you didn't speak your truth. Well, that pressure you're feeling forced to break down the established mind thought patterns when it comes to the connection in order to bring loving messages and speak your truth. There's where the truth lies. The truth lies within you. And when you're not speaking your truth, that's what? Stupid. Yes. Be honest. You made a mistake. Do it all the time. But now you're afraid that it's gone forever. Well, afraid that it's gone forever. Afraid of what? You go and speak your truth. It's not about the person's response, because you're speaking from an I space. I, not we, not you. We don't finger point. You don't compare the situation as a unit. You compare as a projection screen, and you were projecting lower level energies in the beginning. Once you started to fear the connection for real, you made a decision based off of what? Fear. Now you face that fear that caused the disconnection in order to bring the connection back together. And it's something that is being divinely guided, which is why you could internally be feeling like you're going to explode, but that's due to the fact that you're feeling controlled by others and not living your truth. That's what that feeling is. Rosetta, you have a gift for working with young people, and your divine purpose involves helping, teaching, or parenting children. So you could, in fact, someone watching this, have a desire to work with younger children, have a desire to have children, or, anything of that nature. It's indicating that that passion that lies within you, that has that feeling, is because you're being pulled in order to do so, okay? And then Isabella, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. Really? So yes, the timing is right in order to go and reconcile with the person who you, in fact, shared feelings with. and a happy outcome follows what? Your positive expectations. You don't go fearing the response. You go knowing there's going to be a positive response and solution regardless of what it may be. But it's going to be spoken from I. And this is where a solution comes to the surface in the connection between the two of you. But keeping it in the way in which it has been solves nothing. And this is for the person who did the shoving off. Because the person who got shoved off should already be way above where they are. Because they had to come and meet somewhere. So the person that got shoved off was the person who needed to go and wake up first. Because by your example, you're leading the others' energies. They shoved you off. You said, enough's enough. I'm going to figure this out. And you figured it out. It's all about you. And no longer using that person as your focal point to the reason why you feel good or the reason why you don't feel good. But now you know better. You're up here. They're not your responsibility. They're not your focal point. You're good. It's now their, guidance, following their heart, admitting their truth. And once they speak from the I space, you get the aha moment. I get it. The only thing I'm fearing is my own self. I need to have more self-respect. Be who I truly am. Stop being someone I'm not. But you always be you and true to you first. The other person that you share this connection with, you're not sitting around and waiting for them. You're living your life and living your truth. It's their responsibility in order to wake up. You can't do that for them. You can give them a couple tips. Say bye, see ya, good luck. Seriously. Because you can't go there. You can't be there with them in that. You can't be holding on to each other down there. No, bad. Nope, wrong way. You already know that. Karmic relationships go like this. So you're finally like, screw this, I'm out of here. Can't do this anymore. You're not giving me what I want. Well, they can't give you what you want. You don't even know what you want. You think that that person holds the key to your happiness. Wrong way. Key, happiness, here. This thing. This stores information. Knows things. This guidance system. We think things through over and over and over again. Why? You're going to get the same outcome every single time you go over that past circumstance and situation. It never changes. And you stay stuck in those energies. It's changing this that changes your surroundings and the way that you view others and the way that you have connections with people. But the karmic cycles repeat themselves when this up here is not getting it. Right? Teresa, time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. Yes, thank you. Stop worrying about others. It's not about them. You've got to be good with you first. So time out. Tell the others, I'm taking time to myself now. I got to do things for me. Because you're with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, depending on the year. Forever and ever and ever in this shell and beyond. So you have to take care of you first, understand you first, without it being about others, what they need, what they did, and understand your position and what part you played, because neither are a victim, both equally responsible. So you got shoved off. You tried to make it right. Well, guess what? You couldn't make it right with that person at that time because they did not understand themselves. And you could not understand them. Well, when you fell to the lower level energies, that's exactly where you needed to be in order to pull yourself out and say, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to bury these feelings inside of me anymore in order for them to be triggered. I'm going to get rid of them forever so that they're never an open target. And whenever anybody tries to hurt my feelings, well, too bad, so sad. I don't have feelings that lie within me like that to get hurt in the first place, so I can't feel that in which you're trying to project. That's the way it works. Yes. So that was the weekend energy reading. I hope that someone gets a reconciliation this weekend. I do. If you do, let me know. Take the guidance with you, take with you what you understand, and it's all about you. Seriously, got to know yourself first. Okay? So if there is reconciliation, and, I speak from the I space, don't project lower level energies. It's not about that. We don't have fears, remember? We don't fear what the other person has to say. We're coming from an I space, and from that I space, we have understanding, right? Yes. So, if something happens, let me know. Give me all the juicy details. All right. Love you guys. Bye.